I did want to discuss one more race, guys.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, and that was run midweek.
Yep, okay.
What would that race be?
Well, you know.
Is that the horse?
Triple honour, what were your thoughts on?
Well, I still can't understand why the horse went to the barriers without his glasses on. I really don't know. I mean, for a horse who wins the Doncaster, comes back first up and puts the writing on the wall that he's a horse to be taken seriously in the spring, to then remove the blinkers from the horse, I think was a big call.
Chelmsford stakes we're talking about.
Yeah, it's always easy to talk about things in hindsight, and I'm the first one to say, you know, hindsight's a powerful tool, but I did in the lead up say you'd be a monk to be backing this horse at odds on. The price that he was with blinkers off for the first time, going second up from 1,200 metres
12 to 16,
into 1,600 metres, which he showed a mile at Randwick was probably his limit when in the Doncaster when Casino Prince nearly caught him. I think he showed that's probably the maximum that he'll do, and to put him in second up with only a trial in between and the blinkers removed, he had a lot going against him, and I think he can continue to follow him with confidence throughout the preparation because he'll be much better than that, that's for sure.
Your thoughts on that, mate?
I think he's a very well bred horse. He's clearly a superior bred horse.
And the fella that bred him,
Tessio bred him.
Tessio the second.
the bloke that bred him, I hear is a genius.
Yeah, he's a good bloke too.
And the fella we're talking about is sitting here on my left. Is that the bloke?
Yeah, it is, mate. Suman Hedge.
No, look, I can't. I'll try to be as objective as possible. Obviously, I'm a bit biased with this horse, but look, I think that there were legitimate excuses on Tuesday. The horse was going from 1,200 to a mile. It was a shifty track. You know, he ended up having 3.5 weeks in between runs because of the cancellation circumstances. The blinkers off. He came back after the race, and the jockey said that he wasn't concentrating coming around the turn. He was looking around. So it's easy in hindsight to say, well, why did they do that? They are still undecided about the long-term program for the horse, whether they go the Epsom or whether they go down south for the Cox Plate.
Well, I guess that's in the back of their minds. They're probably thinking maybe the reason the blinkers were taken off is, can we get this horse to stretch his speed up to 2,000 metres?
He settles up though. He's never been a horse that
he doesn't. He doesn't settle.
He settles on a fast pace. He settles on a fast pace.
No, he's always a horse.
I guess it's better if they experiment now with him.
That's right.
Than later down the track.
That's right. You'd rather give away at Chelmsford than you give away at Cox Plate.
Yeah, and that's in the back of his mind, whether or not they even attempt to crack at the Cox Plate. But I guess that's what they're doing.
Look, it was, and I think that that's what Boss said all along. He said, look, I'm either going to look like a goose here, or I'm going to look like a genius, but we're better to take this experiment now. They did it. It didn't quite come off. The horse still ran a very genuine second. The horse that beat him, Galantess, she's an improving mare. She just got beaten by Racing to Win the previous week.
She pushed Racing to Win.
She pushed Racing to Win. Who's the best horse in Sydney?
There's a benchmark in Sydney, mate.
She's just a tough horse.
So she deserved a victory because she's a mare that's been very genuine. I think reassess him after the George Main. He's running over a mile there. See how he performs. I, like Matthew, do have some doubts whether he can run 2,000 metres. I think that the horse just doesn't relax well enough in his races.
He's a miler too. He's just a miler. You know? That's his limit.
He is, and I think being out of an Assipor mare, there is a
there's a possibility that he could.
No, but it's a misnomer because everything out of that family is sprinter milers. There's no stayers in that family, so Nassipor did produce good stayers in Let's Elope, but you know he's more an exception rather than the rule. So I tend to think that the better route would be to go George Main, Epsom, back him up, and just run him in those two, and then maybe go for the miles in Melbourne.
Yeah, he'll be hard to beat.
In those races, he'll be very competitive, and he'll probably not clash with the likes of the Weekend Hustle.
And there's always next year when he's more seasoned. Yeah, there's always a crack because Wait for Age races.
Wallace keeps saying he's 6 months away. You know,
well, that's exactly right.
He's still 6 months away. This
100%. So obviously he's still maturing. So you can still have a crack at the Cox Plate next year. There's always that option because it's not as if you're going to win a whole heap of races. You're going to be poorly handicapped in a Cox Plate because. Cox Plate, Wait for Age, you're always going to carry the same weight.
But what I do know is that Chris Waller will get to the bottom of what's the best program for the horse. He's an extremely good trainer. He has not put a foot wrong with this horse all the way along, and I'm sure that whatever path he takes is going to be the right path. Now, whether the horse is able to go on and win, you know, I think, as I said, the Weekend Hustles, those sort of horses, 2,000 metres, I think is going to be a little bit hard for him. But I think he will win the George Main. I don't think that he'll be beaten in that race.
Well, he's racing to win out. Who's
Galantess? He's going to have the same horse.
We have
a different horse this time round.
We have no.